A K-shaped recovery, the disparity in housing between the ultra-rich and the everyday Americans. What do people need to know about what a K-shaped recovery is and why it's important to them?
A K-shaped recovery is kind of simple. So what happens is the economy starts to recover different. It's not even. There's a portion of the economy that, just like a K, gets a nice up, and there's a portion of the economy that gets a down. What we're seeing happening, and what I believe is going to happen, is the ultra-rich, the high net worth individuals are going to outperform the middle class, the poor, the everyday American. And their asset values are essentially going to balloon during this time while everyone else's asset values, unfortunately, or lack of asset values, don't. And you're seeing this already. You're seeing the tech market recover, and you're seeing small business get its ass kicked. And you're seeing big cap companies who can borrow at cheap money start to recover and perform better, and small business who can't borrow cheaply get their butt kicked. So I wanted to just give a real simple example of this. The hedge fund tycoon, his name is Ken Griffin, is planning to build the world's most expensive mega mansion. It's gonna cost him over $1 billion for this 50,000 square foot mega mansion that's there in Palm Beach, Florida on Billionaires Row. It's right down the road from Donald Trump, Mar-a-Lago. It's in that area. He bought all these houses. He's dozering them. He's building $1 billion house, the first $1 billion house, 20 acres. But wait, the average American, with mortgage rates being 8%, has the least unaffordable home since 1984. Basically, right now, it's taking the average American 41% of their income to be able to afford the median price. That doesn't even work in the Seattle metro or the coast. The median income in our area won't even support it. This also assumes no debt. So if you have debt and an average income and not a bunch of savings, you're not getting it done. While this hedge fund manager is literally building $1 billion home. If he feels comfortable spending $1 billion today on a home, do you think he's worried that he's at the bottom of the K?
No.
Absolutely not. He feels super comfortable. That's why he can spend. So what's happening is people who have these assets, even as the stock market comes down, or like we were just talking about, Bitcoin comes down, as it comes back up, they get a natural lift. When you go and buy real estate and your real estate assets naturally lift, you get your asset values increase. But if you don't have them, everything just gets more expensive. And the problem with this whole inflation idea and this K-shaped recovery is really simple. Prices are not coming back down. No one's coming to save you. Inflation caused everything to get more expensive, but it's not going to return to normal. So for the average everyday American who is possibly living paycheck to paycheck or had a little bit of excess savings, that excess savings is now going to insurance, groceries, gas, and housing. These basic human needs are taking a lot away from them. That creates civil unrest. So one of the things to also think about here is we know the Federal Reserve wants to keep rates higher for longer. How much can they beat up the average American before it creates so much civil unrest that it creates problems for the economy? How far can they take jobs away and push wages down before the average American has a problem? People who already feel like the system's rigged, it's going to feel more rigged after this because this gap is just going to continue to widen. What does that mean for our buyers? What does it mean for our investors? What does it mean for our home sellers? It means that in this high inflation environment, you need to stack up on assets. Ooh, what's our asset of choice? Real estate. Because as the values rise in real estate and as inflation stays high, that real estate prices are going to rise along with it. It's a good hedge against the inflation. And if you don't have these assets, you need to go find Dear Aunt Tilly. Dear Aunt Tilly is a friend, a family member, or an actual relative who has some cash or liquidity, who would invest with you in order to get a deal or possibly help you buy that first home. Or maybe you need to actually buy the first home with Dear Aunt Tilly and she moves in with you. We talked a little bit earlier about getting creative. Getting creative in today's market is maybe two families buying a home together, two sisters buying a home together, you buying the home with Dear Aunt Tilly, whoever that is in your life, two good friends buying a home together and renting out the rooms. We sold, it was a 5-bedroom split level to two young men, late 20s, and they were buying it together. And I said, and what are you guys going to do? They said, we're going to rent out the other 3 rooms. Brilliant. We get it. Some of this is really expensive, but there are things you can do. Don't lose hope. there's opportunity in this K-shaped recovery.
I think the K-shaped visual is really important for people to see, because you have to decide which roller coaster you want to be on. The one that's going to go down and potentially never come up.
Yes.
Or it's going to be so hard to come up. Or do you want to be on the one that's going to go up?
Yeah.
And it is happening. It's probably been happening for about 20 years.
Yeah.
And you can actually attribute a lot of it to the tech space. Because with innovation and technology, the people closest to that move faster. They grow bigger. You see it because of what the first few $1 trillion companies are all tech companies. Apple, Microsoft, maybe Amazon. I don't know if they're there, but they're in the ballpark. And no matter if Amazon is about selling products, they really are a technology company. They're in Seattle. You can't just sit on your butt and wait for something to change.
Yes. Thanks for watching today. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Hey, YouTube recommended you watch this video right here.